right, welcome back. We're going into the basic concepts. This is probably the best thing you could probably work on of all the workshops we do. We start off in a closed basic, and we're going to talk just a bit about all the little details that we sometimes miss in some of the workshop classes and whatnot. We're going to start our basic off by actually relaxing into a hip. So I'm actually standing in a fairly neutral position, and so is Janelle. We're going to relax into a hip, which is on the standing leg. When you do that, you notice the other knee bends forward and it relaxes. This is a big key to this dance. It's getting the energy down from the hips into the knees and the ankles. So to start our dance, we'd relax. We don't collapse, but we have the muscle in control. We relax and release the leg and then do our first triple step. And I don't completely, when I do my movement, I'm going to put my hands to my hips so you see this. I hit my hand against my right hip before I take the step. When I take the next step, I don't do full action every time I step. In other words, I don't go 1 and 2, because then you look a little bit out there. Anyway, we won't go there. You're starting from this position here. You'll relax into that hip and just do a little pressure and then move it over to the other side. Pressure and then put it back again and rock, replace. So if it's a full weight change, I do a full movement, but it's not. It's only half weight changes here. So it's half changeover, half changeover. And basically the lady's doing the same thing. So we get a much more subtle look. And half changeover, half changeover, and then we do our rocking step, which is 2 full counts. And this we notice happening a lot in the basic levels, is that when the partners do the breaking step, they don't really put enough weight into it. They just sort of hit it and go, and then they get off time. So here you want to roll into that foot and come back again. Now another key is that the distance between here and here should not spread out on the breaking step. So that means your hip has to do the opening. Hip open, hip back. Otherwise you end up with the arms expanding from the partner. So we're going to go 1 and relax, 1 and relax, break, replace. On a tucking turn, I'm going to bring her in towards me a little bit. Now what I like to feel on the tuck is the back of the lady's left shoulder blade should fill the space in my hand. The left hand, for my left hand, her right hand, should make a slight connection. It doesn't have to be hard. But basically what she's doing is she's filling the space between this area, my left hand, and this area, my right hand. So this is pretty compact right here. Okay, hair and all. Okay, we got it. Okay, so this will be count 1, 2, connect. Nice light connection. And we raise the left hand to let her out. And we do our triple step. And in here, we're working on spacing also. We don't want to do the triple step and drift off someplace. We want to keep a nice light connection. Now, we're talking basics here, not all the fancy syncopations. Okay, we're going to do an underarm pass. You'll notice we'll end up the same distance again. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Our last triple step is isolated. We stop the bodies so we can do the triple step, but we maintain the connection in the hand. Most of my strength is in my hand down into my forearm. I try to keep it from getting up into my shoulders and elbow area. So I don't end up locking these joints. I keep them fairly relaxed and I tone through my hand. The way I look at it, if I can't get her to understand what I want by just a tuck of the fingertip, then I have to leave too much. Now sometimes you'll have to do that because you're dancing with a partner that basically has a really mushy arm. If that's the case, that means you're going to move more, not lead more. Okay, this is an example. Go real loose on me in the arm. I want to lead a whip. I lead this and her body is sort of flopping now. So what I want to do is instead of making her look bad, I'll move towards her. 3 and 4 and let her out. 7 and 8. So I've led very lightly, but I've moved more. Now if I have a more toned partner, I move less and I bring her to me. 7 and 8. So you'll have to adapt to whoever you dance with. And ladies, if you're dancing with a guy that leads fairly aggressively and you think it's too strong, go lighter. It's harder for him to lead you then. You don't want to get hurt. You're supposed to match your partner's connection. If my connection's got 10 pounds of pull, you should have 10 pounds resistance. Which doesn't mean don't go. It just means give a little connection and stay connected to it. If it gets more than that, you'll know what it is. If it's enough to pull you out of your footwork, it's too strong. So for the guys, try to get used to leading with your hands, your forearms, a little bit of tone. And for the most part, when you start a pattern, start with your body, not your arms. So when I go to move, before my hands do anything, I shift my weight. That also shifts her weight if she's connected to me. That might be something you may want to do is take a partner and get a connection in the hand and see if your weight shift, the slightest weight shift, will get her to respond. Now what actually happens on a weight shift is the man is going back, and actually instead of the lady coming forward like Janelle's showing you that she's connected, but when we dance, that's not what actually happens. When I go back, she goes back the other way to make it even more connected. Now when she takes her step, it's a nice solid forward step. So that's winding. That's like taking a rubber band and pulling it back before you go to shoot it. You got more speed out of that rubber band because of the pull. So right here, we have what we call a light or a slightly taut rubber band, and we're going to make it elastic and then relax. Move right into it. 5, 6. We do that every time we move. We pull apart before we go. 3 and 4, 5, and pull apart. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, and pull apart. 1, 2. But when we pull apart, we don't lose this connection. It's almost always consistent. Now, our partnering is fairly good. We can actually be blindfolded and dance and know when we stop because we have such a good connection in the hand. It doesn't always happen with everybody you get. You'll know that when you get on the floor and social dance. But sometimes you can establish the kind of connection you want. I may want more connection from the partner, in which case I would pull the fingertips in a little bit tighter and I would lead her more than I would move. So I would bring her in, I'd push hard a little harder against the arms. That's if I want a stronger connection. I might want that for body waves and things like that. 3 and 4, 5 and 6. So you can actually get the kind of movement you want if you have the right connection. Most of the time for myself, I like the connection to be there, but not noticeable. It's light. It's very easy. My basic sugar push is even slightly forward progressive, and it's a little bit of a spin-off of the shag. 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and 1 and 2. Very stationary, so you can see that we get lots of neat little footwork, good body action. It's easy to make hand changes because I don't have to reach for them. They're right there. 2, 1, 2. I don't take much to spinner, which brings me back to the leads. For the ladies, when you are led to do a move, basically what the man does is he invites a movement. He doesn't make you do anything. He invites it. It's basically up to you to execute it all the way to its end. He can add more to it, but you have to execute it. You do not want the man, if it's an underarm pass, to pull you all the way down the track into the triple stack. The only thing you want from him is the indication to go by. 1, that's it. The rest is up to you. 4, 5, and 6. You're responsible for turning yourself, you're responsible for anchoring yourself, and more importantly, you're responsible for maintaining the rhythm. Don't get lost on your timing. So we're going to go light and easy. 3 and 4, 5 and 6. And that connection, again, I stay connected to the partner and I use rotation. If it's a side pass, I rotate to lead. 3 and 4. If it's a whip, I rotate, come right back, which snaps the lady in a little bit. Sometimes I add more pressure into the hand depending on the sharpness of the whip. Okay. But we're talking basics right now, just trying to get really good solid basics, and we're talking filling space, which means the space between you and the partner. If she doesn't go far enough away, 3 and 4, if she stays kind of close and her arms are loose, it's a little tougher for her to feel the rhythm I'm dancing. If she can back up just another, maybe an inch or two, you can feel that tightening just a little bit in the hands. Now you can feel the weight changes, you can feel the shoulders dropping, you can see the angles without even looking. I can feel what she's doing, I can tell you what foot she's on, just by the angle and the pressure I get from the hand. So being aware of the partner is a very, very important tool, probably the most important tool you would have, whether you're the lady or the man. These are your basic concepts. They should carry you all the way through the most advanced patterns. Thank you. We'll see you again.